somebody joined, but I don't know who it is. I'm trying to get some camera adjustments done, and it's not cooperating at all today, which goes right along with the rest of my day. So, if you will, when you come in, let me know you're here so I can say hi. Let's see. No, I don't want that. Okay. Alright. We're just going to have to go with it like it is. I'm going to have to move this stuff back. Alright. There we go. Oh, we have 4 people. And now 5 there. Marsha's watching. It wasn't telling me who's here. So, it's good to see y'all. We'll wait a few minutes because we're a little ahead. I've got 257 on my oven, so. Anyway, are y'all having a good day? Hey, Judy! Good to see you! Are y'all having a good day? It is so pretty outside. I hope you've been outside some today. Hey, Rumi. Today has been crazy. Before we get started, I'm gonna show you kind of what's happened. So I've got everything prepped and ready for this. My little cakes are baked, and I forgot why I don't ever use a white cake mix. And I kind of forgot why. So I used a white cake mix for today, and I'm going to show you what happens when you use a white cake mix and you kind of don't follow all the directions. So the directions for the white cake mix, I had a Duncan Hines Classic White. You are supposed to mix a cup of water, like a third of a cup of vegetable oil, and it said 3 egg whites. But on my first go around, I put 3 whole eggs in there. Hey Lynn, I'm just telling about how my crazy day has happened so far. So you want me to show you what happens when you use 3 whole eggs instead of 3 egg whites in your cake? I'm going to show you, because then I had to go look in my pantry, and thank goodness I had another white cake mix in there, but I had a yellow one too. I wish I had just grabbed it. Anyway, so if you used a white cake mix, this is what your cake should look like. Can you see the edges? I did mine a little earlier this morning. It's kind of pulled away from the edge. It's got a little rise to it. See that? It's a little brown on the top. Lord help me, I hope it's going to come out of this plate okay. But in the cakes that you're going to laugh. So these rose beautifully and looked beautiful baking, but look at the ones that were made with 3 whole eggs. Look at that. Can you see that? It looks like a cheesecake. It totally deflated. Oh, I'm so glad I caught that before it was time to make this cake. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I may cut them up and see if they taste okay. And if they taste okay, what you can do when you make a mistake like this is turn it into a blessing. So if it tastes okay, we can cut it into squares, and then we put it in a trifle dish, and we can layer it with, I don't know, some kind of icing. So probably like a cream cheese icing and some strawberries or blueberries or something like that. But look at that. Look at that. Ah, it's terrible. Oh, it did come out. Look how thin it is. Hey Teresa. Hey Laura. I was just showing what happens when you add 3 whole eggs instead of 3 egg whites to your mix, like the recipe calls for. You get this floppy little thing. Sad. Alright, let me move these out of the way. Here's the other one. It looks just as bad. Alright. So that just goes to show you. Oh, Marcia said, my box said you could use either 3 egg whites or 3 whole eggs. Glad I just used egg whites. Annie got lucky for Annie. Hi, Michael. So, hey, Kathy. Oh, that's so sweet. Kathy said she's happy she remembered to come, and I'm her hero. Well, your hero messes up cakes, Kathy. Anyway, I hope you ended up with a good looking box cake like this. If you didn't, no worries, because I messed mine up too. It happens. Doesn't matter how many years you've been cooking. So I'm going to set these that I'm going to use out down here out of the way. You're going to need a cake plate. So get that. And the next thing you're going to need, and I'm going to put y'all to doing this while I show you how to make the breakfast casserole. Because this is kind of mindless. You don't have to pay a whole lot of attention. I'm going to turn the camera. Hey, Michael. I'm going to turn the camera down here onto the... It's actually my oven, but I put a cutting board on it. Alright. So, get your strawberries. And I went ahead and did these ahead so that I could show you how to make the casserole. Get your... I used these. I used the Ghirardelli. Let me see, is that upside down? Right side up. I use the Ghirardelli white melting wafers. You can use the chocolate wafers if you have melting chips. The kind that are used for coating, candy making, and dipping is what you need. Not just plain old chocolate chips. So I've used about half of a bag. Put it in a microwave safe bowl. So at my house it's just a regular like cereal bowl. Put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. Take it out, stir it. Maybe your chips won't be melted at all. It doesn't matter. Just put them back in for another 30 seconds. Did I say 30 minutes? I meant 30 seconds. Put them in for another 30 seconds. Give them a stir. Keep doing that until they melt. But you don't want them really hot because you don't want to roast your strawberries. And then go to your strawberry package and pick out the biggest, prettiest ones, which you can see I did here. And then once you have your chocolate melted, see mine's melted, then you have your prettiest strawberries, then all you do is just dip it in there and dip it around like that. See that? And then just lay it down. This is parchment paper. You can also use wax paper. And put it, go on a tray, it can go on a plate, whatever. And then stick that in the fridge. Because we want them to be ready by the time we get done. And mine have been in the fridge, so you can see this is what you're going to have when you're done. And if you want something really good, make a few extra just to eat. Hey, Leanne, how are you? Okay, I'm going to stick this in the fridge. And, okay, so you work on that, and I'm going to show you how to do this breakfast casserole. What you'll need, and this is, you can't do this ahead of time. You have to do it, like you could do it tomorrow morning. It doesn't take long at all. I'm going to say that doing the basic first steps for this took me maybe 10 minutes at the most. So take your Hawaiian rolls out of the package and put them in a dish that's as close to the size of the Hawaiian rolls as you can get. And then just using your fingers, pick the centers out of the Hawaiian rolls, okay? And take the little pieces of bread and put them in a bowl. And then dump your blueberries in there. And I'm going to rinse my hands real quick. Y'all, there's a chance Sarah's going to walk in the back door in just a second. I didn't do my disclaimer before I started that, you know, weekend day around here, anybody's liable to walk in the back door. Okay, and then get a larger bowl. I'm going to move this out of my screen. And in here, you're going to whisk up together 3/4 of a cup of milk, a 1/2 cup of heavy cream, and I'll put this list down for you. Hey, Tammy! And I'll write this list down for you, so you don't need to try to write it all down. But this way you'll know what's in there. Milk, heavy cream, 1/2 cup sugar, 3 large whole eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla, a 1/2 teaspoon of almond, a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and then I neglected to get my lemon out of the fridge. Okay, so then once you have that all in there, you just whisk it up, you know, a minute of whisking is good. And then you take a cup of this mixture, this liquid mixture, 1 cup of it. And put it in with your breadcrumbs and your blueberries. This is not an exact science that I'm doing here. And you mix those together. And if you drop a blueberry on the floor, you just wait till later and let your dog eat it. Alright. So see, you'll get a mixture that looks like this. See that? And then you just spoon the mixture back into the holes in your Hawaiian rolls. I forgot to preheat my oven. I hope that we will be done with this casserole done with the cake about the same time the casserole comes out, so that you can see what it looks like. But if we're not, I'll put pictures up later so you can see. It's not hard, and it's not, it's not a difficult thing to do. So you just spoon your stuff in there, and then you're just going to bake it up. It goes 20 minutes at 350 with aluminum foil covering the top for 20 minutes, and then you take it out and remove the aluminum foil and put it back in for another 20 minutes, and you just bake it till it's like a golden brown. And then this is excellent with salty stuff. So ham, bacon, if you're a fan of country ham, that kind of thing. Now you can see I filled all my holes and I've got a little extra. I'm just going to pour that on top. And then this extra liquid, and this is why you want to have your Hawaiian rolls in a dish that's a similar size, because you're going to pour that liquid in there. And this is actually going to make like a bread pudding kind of. And don't be turned off if you've never had bread pudding, because bread pudding is really, really good. So there you go. And then we're going to get a little lemon zest and put over the top. So this is like going to be roughly a teaspoon of lemon zest. Oh, that smells so good, that lemon zest. I wish you were here with me. So everybody about done with your strawberries? Stick them in the fridge when you're done. Alright, there we go. And then aluminum foil over the top and pop it in the oven. You see how quick that was? That was just literally 5 minutes. I had everything out and mixed together already, but it's only going to add another 5 minutes. Okay, then we're going to stick this in the oven for 20 minutes. Okay, kitchen timer. There we go. There we go, 20 minutes. Okay, now let's see. What do we need to do next? I'm going to turn this back this way so I can see your questions. Let's see. Tom Gebby is... Hi, Tom! Long time no see. Okay, Laura said her... yeah, almond extract does that. It comes way fast out of the bottle, so I'm sorry. That happens. Hi, Joanna. And Kathy said, your mom makes a bread pudding that's to die for. Yeah, especially in the corners. That is the good part, the crusty outer corners. Let's see. Looks yummy. Marsha says she's too slow. She'll have to watch first and then do. Okay, that's fine. How can you save the recipe with all that almond extract in there? Add more of something else. I don't know how much almond extract you have in there. I would say just go forward with it. It'll have an almondy flavor, and that's okay. You can maybe add a little extra vanilla to balance it, but you're not ruining it unless a whole lot of vanilla or almond went in there. Michelle says, gosh, I wish there was a way to eat what you made. Well, come on to North Carolina. That's how to do it. Hey, Joan, I didn't know you were here. Good to see you. And hey, Connie. Okay, so next we're going to, the breakfast casserole is baking. And that is something easy that you could do in the morning, like if you have guests. Well, I guess nobody probably has guests right now, but for your family, you could do it in the morning. It's very, very easy. So, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and mix up our cake icing and the filling. So this cake has like a Cool Whip cream cheese icing on the outside of it. And then in the center, it has a fruit, like a fruity jammy center to it. Yeah, Laura, bake. The breakfast casserole goes in for 20 minutes with the aluminum foil over the top. And then you pull the aluminum foil off and it bakes for another 20 minutes. So let's get started. Right now, go to your kitchen drawer where you keep your spoons and get several spoons out because you're going to have to taste some things. Which is, some of you are saying hooray, and some of you are saying, oh no, I don't know if I'm going to know what I'm tasting. You'll know. Don't worry about it. I wouldn't lead you astray with that. So, let me turn this back around so you can see the mixer while we're doing it. And nobody laugh at my ancient jalopy mixer here. It's like a 1970s KitchenAid. So, but it does the job even though it's loud. So, anyway, okay. So for this part of the recipe, you get out your Cool Whip. And this is an 8-ounce tub of Cool Whip. A block of cream cheese, which is also 8 ounces. Some vanilla. And some powdered sugar. And then we're going to, you just kind of blop the Cool Whip on over in there, like that. Alright, and the cream cheese too, and we talked about, it should be room temperature, but even if it's not quite room temperature, that's not going to hurt anything. And then we're going to start out with about a half a cup of powdered sugar. We may have to go more. And then about a teaspoon of vanilla. Alright. Alright, now, I don't have my guard on here, which means some of that powdered sugar may come flying up out of there. But we'll see. I'll try not to let that happen. I guess you really can't see down in there either. And it doesn't take a lot of mixing if your cream cheese was room temperature. It doesn't take a lot of mixing. Scrape down the sides because that just seems to be what you have to do to get it all mixed in there. What somebody needs to invent is a mixer cam. A little camera that you can put on this edge of your mixing bowl and keep a peek on what's in there. Alright, now get your tasting spoon and get you a little taste of it and see if it's sweet enough. Okay, mine is not sweet enough. So I'm going to go another half a cup of powdered sugar. and you make milk was one of the ingredients we said to have ready. I've run out of milk and there's not any at the store. And this is now a little bit thick. So, I'm going to use cream instead, which is perfectly acceptable. I just put about 1/4 of a cup of cream in there because it's too thick. You all know what icing's supposed to be like, so just add a little milk, add a little more sugar until it tastes right to you. Alright, now let's look and see. Oh, that's looking a lot better. Can you see that? See how much smoother that is? Let's see how it tastes. Get you a new spoon. That's perfect. Okay, so mine was perfect with 8 ounces of Cool Whip, 8 ounces of cream cheese, a cup of powdered sugar, and about 1/4 of a cup of cream. You can use milk instead, or if you don't have either of those, because believe me, I know how the grocery store is, you can use evaporated milk too. Okay, so that is our basic Cool Whip cream cheese icing. And now we have to make the filling of our cake. Which, give me just a second to move things around here and dust off my workspace. Throw my tasting spoon in the sink. Alright. Now, the strawberries that you have left. Let me look at your questions here first. Let me look here and see. Nancy Bullens is watching. Hey, Nancy. And Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl. Okay. Let's see. Will the cake need to be refrigerated? Yeah, it's going to be best if it's refrigerated. Maybe you'll eat it really quick, though. Then you won't need to. It'd be fine to sit out like till supper tonight, but if you're going to eat it tomorrow, then go stick it in the fridge. Hey, Maria. Okay, so nobody else had questions. So let's go ahead and get to making this filling here. Okay, turn the camera back around. After this is all over and we're not quarantining anymore, y'all are going to so appreciate professional cameramen. Alright, so get your bowl. I've got a potato masher, but you can also use a fork. That works fine. And then get the rest of your strawberries out of your packages and cut them in. If they're big, like this one's huge, cut it in four pieces like that. If they're smaller like this one, then just in half, cut the tops off. So, and then I want you to look through them and pick the prettiest ones. And it's not strawberry season, so none of them are going to look like beautiful summer strawberries. You're going to pick out maybe, I don't know, 20 or so pieces that are the prettiest and set those aside. And the rest of them you're going to throw in your bowl. So, alright, there's these tops go here in the trash. Now you're going to have some that look like this. See that strawberry that's white on one side? If you have a white part that's not developed at all, just cut that off, because that's just going to be so bitter anyway. And nobody wants to see that. Okay. So get your prettiest pieces and set them over to the side. And there's you may have pieces like this that have like little bruises on them. If they're very bruised, cut the bruised part off. If they're not that, if it's just a tiny little place, you don't really have to worry about it. But don't keep those. Put those in your bowl. Alright. So this will take you just a second to sort through these. And the pretty ones, that we're keeping, they're going to go on the top of the cake. Alright. That one's definitely not pretty. It's rough to be so judgmental about what's pretty and what's not. Okay. Ugly. But the uglies are going to be beautiful when we get done because they're going to make up the filling. So. Alrighty. We'll keep those and put these in. Alright, you're going to need tasting again. Alright, so you got your strawberry pieces in your bowl. And you want to get you 2 healthy spoonfuls of strawberry jam or jelly. It could even be apple or really any flavor is going to work. And then about a cup of sugar, added little bit by little bit, and just crush them up. Now, to be honest, if I wasn't doing this on video, I would probably use my mixer for this. That would be so much easier. But my mixer bowl is full of icing at the moment, so. I learned to make this filling like this when I was in Norway after my senior year of high school. Some of you know Trone, his mom made cake filling this way, and that's where I learned to do that. So she didn't speak hardly a word of English, and I certainly didn't speak any Norwegian, but I learned from watching. So, and I thought it was delicious. As you mash, the sugar will help pull the fluid out of the strawberries, and it will get easier to mash. Plus, your berries will be all mashed up. Alright. Okay, very good. And then get a spoon, get one of your testing spoons, and test it and see what you think. Oh, yum, that's good. Now the sugar will be less granular, like it won't be as crunchy after it's set for a minute. So don't worry about that. And then take good strawberries. I'm going to get these out of my workspace. Alright, y'all, it's time to put this bad boy together. Get your cake plate. Let's see. Let me look at questions again. Let's see. Oh, Cheryl's here for the. Cheryl, did you see the breakfast steak? Because it's in the oven now, cooking now. So if you missed it, just when we're done, I'll post it back, and you can come back and rewatch that part. Yeah, Marcia, some of my strawberries were ginormous too. One of my packages only had about 8 strawberries in it because they were all so big. Anyway, okay, here, let's get busy putting this cake together. Alright, so this is my cake plate. And let me get my... Oh, this mixer is so heavy, y'all. Bowl out. I think now that I don't need the mixer anymore, I'm going to move it out of the way. So give me just a second. Because it's so big and so clunky, and it is right in the way. Okay. There, that's better. Alright. So, when you're icing a cake, I find it best to put a little bit of icing right in the center of my cake plate because that glues the cake down. and then it's not springing all around while I'm trying to work. Alright, so take one of your cakes and put it down on your... Alright. Now, mine's glued down good. You got yours glued down? Alright. Now, you may or may not use all of this filling. And you take this filling and you put it here on your cake. And you don't want to get too crazy with it because you don't want it to squeeze out. You don't want it to squeeze out when you put the other cake on top. So yeah, I didn't use all of mine, but don't throw this strawberry stuff away, because what you can do is offer it as like a drizzle to put on your cake when you serve it. If you're making your cake in a sheet pan, I forgot to say this, make this drizzle but then offer it just as a topping for your cake. You're not going to try to cut your sheet pan cake and have, or at least I wouldn't try to. Marcia and I, we had that conversation ahead of time. She said she saw Alton Brown do it, but I'm not that brave, so anyway, and then get your other cake pan and pull your cake out and set it on top, and then we're going to ice this cake. And I'm not a professional cake icer, so this is just how I do it. I put some on the top and then I put some on the sides. Can y'all see that? I put it on the sides like this. I just take a rough spatula and put it on like this, and I use my offset spatula in a minute. And I kind of stuff it in there because there's going to be space between your two cakes. And you'll probably have some syrup running out. That's no big deal. Just keep going. Believe me, nobody cares if they have a little bit of strawberry syrup in their icing. It just gives it character. Okay. I hope we're all getting along okay in the while we're distancing. I know it's been a challenge for a lot of people. Alright, and then I'm using an offset spatula to spread that cake icing around. And I sure don't worry about getting it perfect when I first start. I don't worry about getting it perfect no matter where I am with it. But I know some of you are more perfectionists than I am. I just want it to taste good. And I know for a fact it's going to taste good. Alright. See, there's a little bit of that. Oh! There's our breakfast casserole. It's ready for the aluminum foil to come off, but it's going to have to wait a second because we're busy. Well, I about made it all the way around here. Alright. Alright, let's take a break here from the cake. And see what's in store with the breakfast casserole. Okay, stop hollering at me. There we go. Oh, y'all, that smells so good. Woo! Alright. Let's take this off. Alright. We're not there yet, but we aren't supposed to be there yet. So, this is what it looks like midway through. We're going to stick it back in for another 20-ish minutes. We're going to be done with this cake before this is done. But I will put up pictures of it for sure. Alright. Now, back to the cake. Kitchen timer. 20 start. There we go. Okay. So, now, back to, I'm just getting my edges smoothed up here. And I had a little puddling of the inside of the cake, and that's okay. Don't let that stress you out. Alright. Now, I'm going to try to get this where you can see it. Can you see I've got some of the strawberry stuff on the outside here? Here's what we're going to do about that. Let me get a damp paper towel. I've got a damp paper towel. And this is just if you want it to look really pretty for, you know, whatever if you're doing it for Easter. And you just clean it up off the edge of your cake plate. See that? That was pretty easy. Like wiping a baby's chin. There you go. Okay. Let me turn this and see if we've got any questions. I've got to get back to where I was. Cheryl said she wasn't here for the casserole, but she'll go back and look. Oh, well, I think you're cute too. Thank you. Oh, Laura said she told me last week that my voice and dimples are the star of the show, along with my good food. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm having a crazy hair day. I tried to make it look decent before I started, but I just couldn't, so it just is what it is. Oh, never thought of putting frosting on the cake first. Yeah, you gotta have some glue to glue down your first layer of cake, otherwise it's sliding all over the place. Could we do... Yeah, you could do this as a poke cake. That would be great. You could do this, the strawberry filling, and get you a good wooden spoon with a decent size handle, and then poke lots of holes in your cake, but leave about that much between each hole, because otherwise then your cake will break up. And then spread the filling on there, and then just ice it. That would be great. Good idea, Lynn. Kathy says they were on a world cruise from January to May and had to return home from Australia. That sounds like a nightmare. I mean, on the cruise of a lifetime, and you're in Australia, like literally way on the other side of the world, and you have to come home. I'm glad no one was sick on your ship. Wow, that's a blessing. Okay. Yes, this was my mother-in-law's birthday cake, Lynn. That's right. So last year, my mother-in-law was living with us. She was getting ready for knee surgery, and her birthday was May 14th. And she asked me to make her cake. She said, just make a box cake, and I just want some fresh fruit on it. A box cake with some fresh fruit and some... Can you make an icing out of Cool Whip, or just put Cool Whip on the cake? So I was like, I will make you a birthday cake, but I'm not making a box cake with just fruit and Cool Whip on it. So this is what I came up with, and it was a beautiful cake. I was so proud of myself. It was the prettiest cake I ever made, and she was thrilled, and it brought tears to her eyes, and the whole family was here, and we sang her happy birthday. And I'm so glad we did that, because that was her last birthday. She passed away about a month ago. So this is kind of in honor of her, but it's a beautiful cake, and it will make a lovely Easter cake too. So let's see. Hi, Mary. I didn't know you were here. Good to see you. Yes, Laura, it is like wiping a baby's chin. You know just what to do to wipe a baby's chin, so that's what it's like. Alright, let's get the top put on this cake. Let me see. Thank you, Kathy. It is a precious memory. Let me get my other ingredient. I have the tiniest kitchen, y'all, and Lynn asked me to give y'all a tour of my kitchen. Hey, Christy. I'm glad you're here. I've been following you, what you've had to say on Facebook, so I'm glad you're here because there's a lot of college girlfriends here. It's like third floor Davis all over again. Anyway, I have the smallest kitchen imaginable. I know from where you are sitting, it doesn't look that small. Oh, Mary says she just dropped in to hear my voice. That's so sweet. But anyway, I can take one step and be at my sink, one step be at my dishwasher or my refrigerator, or over here where all these pots and pans are hanging. And Lynn said she wanted a tour of my kitchen, which I will do, but not this week, because here's what I've been doing this week. I've been canning apple pie filling. Because I went to Sam's Club and they had apples for like $4 and something for a 5-pound bag. So, apple pie filling. And I've got all of my canning stuff, like it's a lot of stuff, crammed over here in the corner where you can't see it. And I'm just not prepared for a tour. But I will do a tour maybe next week, when we figure out what we're going to make next week. Okay, so now let me organize stuff here just a little bit, and we'll get the top put on this cake. I'm going to move the filling out of the way to somewhere, and I'm going to get the pretty strawberries, and I'm going to get the strawberries that we put in the refrigerator. Alright, now I'm going to turn this back over. Okay, now, I hope y'all can see everything. So we've kind of flattened off the cake. Make the cake top as flat as you can get it. And then you're going to take these strawberries. This is where you get to be really artistic. Marsha's going to love this. So, and then I look for whichever strawberries that I did the prettiest. See, these are enormous. They're like fist size. And you're just going to pretend that you work in like a department store bakery. You know how you ever been to a department store bakery where they make things and they're just beautiful? That's what yours is going to be. It's going to be beautiful. Put your big ones on first, because you're going to use your little ones to wedge in there, and for the top. Alright. And pile them up a little bit. Okay, like that. And then take your pretty strawberry pieces. Okay, and y'all, you can be totally creative with this. Whoop. Is anybody's hands? My hands have quit working since I got past 50. My wrists don't work, my hands don't work. See, I can't hold on to anything. It's a challenge. It's not for people who are afraid, that's for sure. Okay. And you just stick your beautiful strawberry pieces on there. If you have a whole lot of them, you can probably put some on the side. I might be able to put a few on the side. See that? You can sneak some, give under the edge of your coated strawberries to give them a little lift, or to anchor them, you know, make sure they don't fall. And you don't have to put them all. You can save some and dip them down in your extra chocolate. Alright. Alright. So I'm going to not use those 4 pieces. Because you'll find you can just do too much sometimes. So, alright. Can y'all see that? Yeah, it is pretty. Thank you, Lynn. I think so too. And I like leaving the green tops on there, but if that was offensive to you, you could always take them off. And then what happens? This is what happens when you get ready to eat the cake. You can't slice the cake with these strawberries on. But you just say to people, okay, we have to get those strawberries off the top. So everybody take one. And some people will be shy and won't take one. But you'll have plenty of people who will be like, oh, I can't wait to have one. And you get the strawberries off and then you get the cake. So Richie says he can't wait to try that. They have borrowed the truck and gone to town, so they'll be back and he's going to be ready for a piece of cake. Okay, so see? That's it. Let me look in on the blueberry stuff and see how it looks. Okay, it's got another 10 minutes, but I'm going to show you what it looks like 10 minutes prior to coming out of the oven. Oh, it's hot in there. Okay, there's what it looks like 10 minutes before it's ready to come out. You can see that a whole lot of the liquid that we put in there, the milk and the eggs, has absorbed into those Hawaiian rolls. The blueberries there's going to be a bunch of them pop here directly. You can see down here in this edge a bunch of them have popped. But that's okay because that's what makes it taste good. Alright, 10 minutes back in the oven for you. Alright. Let me turn this back around, see if you've got any questions. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Marcia said she used to have a strawberry cake every year for her birthday. When she was little, it was a pink box cake and pink icing. Oh, nice to have a grown-up version. That is nice. I have another recipe for a strawberry cake that uses frozen strawberries in the cake mix. It is fabulous. A friend that I used to work with, Gwen, gave me the recipe. I mean, it's delicious. But I've tried to make it 3 times and the cake just falls apart when I put it on the cake plate. So I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Oh, hey Joan. She said a beautiful, delicious cake. She loves it. You can just come over here and get a piece. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Do you have anything you want to see next week? I was thinking about doing cheeseburger stuffed shells because people we like to do this on Sunday afternoon and then you have Sunday dinner ready, and then if we do a big enough pan of stuff, you have stuff left over for during the week. So I'm thinking about that, but we have some other options that we can consider and I'll think about what those might be. I'm sure it's something. Anyway, I hope you'll join me next week, and I hope you have a lovely and beautiful Easter tomorrow. I don't know how the day is where you are, but where I am, it is beautiful today. So I'm going to get out now that we're all done and enjoy some of the rest of this afternoon because it's beautiful. Yeah, Lynn's jealous of Joan. So y'all would like each other, Lynn and Joan. You would be buddies if you knew each other. Oh, Lynn just got shells at the store. Great. Oh, Connie, I forgot you were watching with your mom. Hi, Mom. You're welcome. I'm glad you came. Let's see. Yeah, let's do the cheeseburger stuffed shells because I'm going to tell you, they are fantastic. I'm not really one to usually eat shells, but they're fantastic. And you can also add a lot to them, like I'll probably add some spinach because I just put some up in the freezer. So we'll probably add some spinach to them to make them at least a little bit healthy. Oh, yes, I will repost it right away, Marcia. No worries there. Happy Easter to you, Lynn. And God bless you, Kathy, too. Let's see. Is there anything else? Don't forget to join us on our podcast, Dorks with Sporks. We started recording season 2, so I know a little bit about what's on season 2 is getting ready to be, but what's available right now is season 1, and we're finishing up season 1. So join us there. It's a podcast. If you don't normally listen to podcasts and you want to start listening, just let me know. I'll hook you up with the way to listen to podcasts. Wendy Jo. Oh, not Wendy Jo. I'm Wendy Jo. Thank you, Laura. She said thank you for all this, Wendy Jo. Happy Easter. Happy Easter, all y'all. Love you. I'll see you next time. We'll do Sunday afternoon at 3 next week. Michelle wants to see. Okay, I can show you the side of the cake. Whoops. See, I can't hold on to anything. Okay. Let's see if I can turn the camera around. Look at me. Woo! I turned the camera around. Okay. Now you see I gotta spread the icing out a little bit right there. That's showing through. But right there, see? That's what the side of it looks like. Hey, Pam. Hey, Gina. Joan, I'm glad you got to see too. And then here's kind of a close-up of what I did on the top of the cake. Okay. Alright, so now I'm holding this with my hands instead of the clip. But anyway, well, y'all take care, and I'll see you next week. Have a happy, lovely Easter. I'm so thankful for all of y'all. And I'm thankful that we're having this time together, even though we're kind of all in our own kitchens and having to do our own thing. But it was good to see you, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.